The placement of Venus in the second house of a natal chart is one of the most harmonious accidental dignities in astrology. Because Venus is the natural ruler of the second house, traditionally associated with Taurus, the planet of love, beauty, and value feels right at home here. This placement suggests a life where the pursuit of security is deeply intertwined with the pursuit of pleasure, and where an individual's self-worth is often mirrored by their physical surroundings. The psychology of value and self-worth. At its core, the second house represents what we value, including ourselves. When Venus resides here, there is a fundamental need for life to feel beautiful in order for the individual to feel safe. These individuals often possess an innate sense of worthiness, but this can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, they have the confidence to attract wealth and resources. On the other, they may fall into the trap of equating their human value with their bank account or the quality of their possessions. The inner dialogue of a second-house Venus person is often dictated by the senses. They don't just want to have things, they want to experience the texture, scent, and aesthetic appeal of the world. This creates a personality that is typically stable, grounded, and deeply appreciative of the material realm. They are the connoisseurs of the zodiac, possessing a Midas touch when it comes to identifying quality and longevity. Financial patterns and material attraction. Financially, Venus in the second house is often considered a lucky placement, though it functions more through attraction than raw effort. These individuals often have a talent for making money through Venusian fields, art, beauty, fashion, luxury goods, real estate, or even mediation and social consulting. They have a knack for making the process of earning look effortless, even when they are working hard. However, the shadow side of this placement is a tendency toward extravagance. Because they view beautiful things as a necessity for their emotional well-being rather than a luxury, overspending is a common pitfall. They might justify a high-priced purchase by convincing themselves it is an investment in their happiness. Their financial security is rarely just about the numbers. It is about the peace of mind that comes from being surrounded by grace and comfort. Love is a tangible asset. In relationships, Venus in the second house manifests as a need for stability and physical expression. These are not the types to enjoy flighty or overly dramatic romances. They seek a partner who is dependable, sensual, and perhaps even financially secure. To them, love is something you can touch and see. They express affection through gift-giving and physical touch, and they expect the same in return. There is a distinct possessiveness that can arise here. Because the second house governs ownership, there is a risk of viewing a partner as a prize or a valuable asset. While they are incredibly loyal and nurturing, they must be careful not to stifle their loved ones with a desire for total security. They crave a homestead energy, where the relationship feels like a solid foundation upon which a beautiful life can be built. Aesthetic sensibility and creative expression. Creatively, this placement bestows a refined eye. They have a natural talent for interior design, gardening, or any craft that results in a tangible product. They aren't interested in art that is purely abstract or jarring. They prefer art that harmonizes a space. Their homes are often their sanctuaries, curated with care to ensure that every object serves both a functional and an aesthetic purpose. Ultimately, the journey of Venus in the second house is about learning the difference between price and value. While they have a natural gift for attracting the finer things in life, their highest evolution occurs when they realize that their inner beauty and character are the only assets that can never be depreciated. When they anchor their self-worth in their internal values rather than external objects, they become truly unshakable, radiating a sense of abundance that draws even more prosperity toward them. When Venus resides in the second house, the filter of the zodiac sign determines exactly how you go about attracting wealth and what specific flavors of beauty you value most. Fire signs, the proactive earners. Aries, you are a hunter for resources. Value is found in novelty and independence. You likely spend money impulsively on things that make you feel fast, strong, or first, and you have the drive to make money quickly through sheer willpower. Leo, you treat your finances like a royal treasury. You value luxury, gold, and items that confer status or creative recognition. You are incredibly generous with your wealth, often spending to keep up an image of abundance and warmth. Sagittarius, to you, wealth is a passport. You value experiences, travel, and higher learning over stuff. You might be a bit of a gambler with money, trusting that the universe will always provide, and you find beauty in the exotic and the philosophical. Earth signs, the material stewards. Taurus, in its home sign, Venus here is incredibly potent. You have a deep need for physical comfort and high-quality possessions. You are likely very skilled at saving and building a nest egg, valuing things that are tactile, organic, and timeless. Virgo, you find beauty in utility and craftsmanship. You are the most frugal of the Venus placements, preferring to spend money on health, organization, or tools that work perfectly. Value is tied to being helpful and efficient. Capricorn, you view money and beauty through the lens of legacy and structure. You value old money aesthetics, antiques, and items that appreciate in value over time. You are disciplined with your finances and seek a partner who is equally ambitious. Air signs, the social appraisers. Gemini, your values are intellectual and varied. You likely have multiple income streams and spend money on books, gadgets, or short trips. You value the idea of a thing more than the thing itself, and your tastes change frequently. Libra, highly refined and focused on balance. You spend money on art, fashion, and social appearances. For you, financial security is often tied to partnerships, and you have a gift for making money through diplomacy or aesthetic consulting. Aquarius, your values are unconventional. You might invest in technology, social causes, or weird art that others don't understand. You value freedom and your tribe over traditional markers of wealth, and you often find unique ways to earn a living. Water signs, the emotional investors. Cancer, money equals safety and family. You value your home above all else and likely spend on domestic comforts or sentimental items. Your financial state is deeply tied to your moods. You may retail therapy your way through emotional lows. Scorpio, you have a poker player approach to wealth. You are private about your assets and may be drawn to power investments like taxes, insurance, or deep transformations. You value intensity in items that have a hidden history or mystery. Pisces, your relationship with money is often nebulous or sacrificial. You value beauty that is ethereal, spiritual, or charitable. You may struggle with the hard reality of budgets, preferring to let your intuition guide your spending and earning. When Venus transits your second house, the planet of beauty and harmony moves through the sector of your life governing finances, possessions, and self-worth. This transit typically lasts about 3 to 4 weeks and is often felt as a sigh of relief in your material world. It is a period where the friction of daily survival eases, replaced by a desire to enjoy the fruits of your labor and a heightened ability to attract what you need. Financial ease and the art of attraction. The most immediate effect of a Venus transit in the second house is a shift in your financial vibe. This is not necessarily a time of aggressive earning, that would be a Mars transit, but rather a time of attraction. Money tends to flow more easily, and you might find that checks arrive in the mail, small bonuses are granted, or you simply feel more prosperous regardless of your bank balance. You may feel a strong urge to spend on luxury, art, or beauty. While your financial discipline might soften, you are usually making purchases that truly resonate with your soul during this time. You aren't just buying stuff, you are investing in items that make your daily life feel more elegant and comfortable. It is an excellent window for redecorating your home or updating your wardrobe, as your eye for value and aesthetic harmony is at its peak. Self-worth is a magnet. Beyond the literal bank account, this transit performs a vital tune-up on your self-esteem. Because the second house is where we define our own value, Venus moving through this space reminds you of your inherent worth. If you have been feeling undervalued at work or in a relationship, this transit gives you the grace to recognize your contributions and, consequently, the confidence to ask for more. You may find yourself less willing to tolerate cheap experiences, whether that's a low-quality meal or a low-effort friendship. There is a sense of "I deserve the best," which acts as a magnetic force. When you value yourself, others tend to follow suit, making this a great time for salary negotiations or setting firmer boundaries in your personal life. Sensual grounding and physical pleasure. Venus is the ruler of the senses, and the second house is a physical, earth-oriented house. During this transit, you are invited to come back into your body. You may find more pleasure than usual in simple things, the smell of a candle, the texture of a soft sweater, or the taste of a well-cooked meal. Relationships during this transit take on a more stable, grounded quality. If you are in a partnership, you might enjoy nesting or going on lavish dates that focus on sensory indulgence. If you are single, you are attracted to people who offer security and physical presence rather than just intellectual stimulation. You seek a love that is real, something you can feel, touch, and rely on. The shadow of the transit. The only caution with Venus in the second house is the tendency toward inertia and overindulgence. Because things feel so pleasant, you might lose your competitive edge or spend more than you should in a quest for comfort. It is a period of sweetness, but one must be careful not to consume so much sugar that the budget, or the waistline, suffers. Ultimately, this transit is a reminder that you are allowed to enjoy your life. It encourages you to find a balance between being a steward of your resources and a connoisseur of your experiences, leaving you with a deeper appreciation for the abundance that already surrounds you. Subscribe, like, and share.